this episode, I'm going to teach you how men become completely obsessed with you, want to chase you, want to spoil you, want to marry you as we go into the new year. Depending on when you're watching this, this will still apply. This will still apply to you. But how do you actually become the hottest, most magnetic, feminine version of you ever? Ever. Like if this is coming across your feed right now, you're meant to see this message right here and right now. And for those of you that are new here, what is up? I'm Natasha. I used to be a former single mom, 4 little kids. Normally, I'm on here with my husband, Coach B, and we help women re regulate their feminine energy and become super attractive, super magnetic to the masculine in both dating and in marriage. So I really specialize in helping women re-regulate their nervous system, recalibrating their energetic frequency, and even their hormones. Yes, hormones too, ladies, because that affects you more than anything as a woman. And why do you care? Why should you care about that? Because your ability to receive your desires is what's going to change this next year for you. So a lot of people, coming to the new year, we're like the time of recording this right now is New Year's Eve, but this still applies to you because every day is a new day for you. Okay, so even if it's 2026 already or 2027, you're watching this message is still for you. But what happens with so many people is they have these New Year resolutions. I'm seeing you ladies, I'm seeing you ladies post your resolutions right now. That's amazing. Post them. But for most people, they have these new resolutions. They want to lose weight. They want to call in, the dream man. They want to get married. They want to have that business flow. They want to scale their business. They want to quit their job and go into this new business, their dream business that they've been putting off. But what happens every single year, ladies? The self-sabotaging patterns kick back in. So I'm a nervous system coach. That is my specialty. And so for today, this episode is really going to help you because I'm going to go through 3 things on things that are just going to help you recalibrate your energy, your frequency, and your nervous system for the new year so you don't self-sabotage. Okay, sounds good. What's up, ladies? I'm seeing all you. Hey, Zaza Fit and Real Viva. I love this. Wanting to lose 15 pounds. Post in the comments right now what your New Year's resolution is. Okay? Post what your New Year's resolution is. And so I just did a wicked, amazing, fire masterclass training for my ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. It was like 3 hours. And I really helped them recalibrate their energy. And normally I don't come live on here on Wednesdays, but I was like, it's New Year's Eve. I have to jump on here on my YouTube channel and I need to say what's up to the ladies and I need to help them really recalibrate their energy for the new year because we're going into that new portal, right? It's like that new year. And I don't want you to self-sabotage. You truly can have all of your desires. This is what I specialize in as a woman because I used to play in self-sabotaging patterns for so many years of my life. And just last year I got married. I was a single mom, called in the most amazing provider energy husband ever, Coach B. And we moved. This is just all in the last year, you guys, okay? 2025. We moved countries. I'm living my dream home. My kids are living their best freaking life ever. And it's just, business has exploded from multiple different income streams. And what my biggest flex is right now is the results that my ladies have gotten. So last year alone, this year alone, okay, we had over 12 engagements and marriages. Isn't that amazing? In the Feminine Energy Academy, over 12 engagements and marriages. I actually lost track after 12. And the cool thing about that is a lot of these women were in situationships before. A lot of these women were single moms before. Some of the women had never been married before. Some of them had been divorced. But they did everything I told them to do and they attracted their provider energy husband. So the stuff that we teach works. That I can promise you. What also is really cool is we had women lose tons of weight in our programs. I mean, that's really my specialty, is helping women re-regulate the hormones and weight loss. So they were losing weight, they were getting their dream bodies, they were looking and feeling confident for the first time. And then the other thing that was happening was so cool is so many of our women have launched their businesses officially. They like women that were in jobs, women that are still in jobs and transitioning. We had women quit their jobs. We had women that were able to expand their business, to scale their business, to just launch their first community ever, paid communities ever. So it's just been really, really cool to see our ladies and what they've been able to do. And it's everything that I teach, which is re-regulating around the nervous system, healing those receiving wounds, healing those receiving blocks around men, but also around money and even around your body, healing and re-regulating your hormones and doing all these things so that you can look and feel amazing. Because if you don't look and feel amazing, especially feeling amazing in your body as a woman, you can be doing all the prayers, all the affirmations that you want. You can have vision boards, you can write down your goals. But if your body, your nervous system doesn't feel safe to receive those desires and those goals, you will subconsciously push them away. So let's jump into it. These are things that I want you to ask yourself. I'm going to give you 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself and really reflect on as you enter this new year. So the first question, because it's all about self-awareness, ladies. If you don't have the self-awareness, you're going to keep playing the same patterns and you're going to be frustrated because you don't know why you keep attracting the same type of guys, or you're still stressed about money, or you're still in that job you don't want, or that weight's not coming off. It's the same patterns, right? So the first question I want you to ask yourself is, what frequency patterns have I been playing in that you no longer want? So what frequency patterns have I been playing in that I no longer desire? They no longer line up with this new version of me, this new 2026 version of me. So take time, actually write that out. It can be around your body. It could be around men. It could be around your finances. So when I'm talking about frequency, what I'm talking about is energy patterns that we all play in. Everything is energy. This is not woo-woo. It's not woo-woo at all. This is everything. This is actual science. We're all energy. And what a lot of people don't realize is you are dialed into certain channels. You're dialed into certain frequencies, kind of like on Netflix, there's different channels. So for example, you want to be on the channel where your husband or the guy you're dating is giving you princess treatment, right? He's chasing you, he's pursuing you, he's showing up consistently for you. That's the channel you want to be dialed into, right, ladies? But maybe you're not dialed into that channel. Maybe you're dialed into the channel where the man is breadcrumbing you. And how do you know you're dialed into that frequency? It's a pattern in your life. If it's a one-off, don't worry about it. But if it's a pattern in your life, you need to acknowledge that. I don't want you to shame yourself or feel bad about yourself right now. I want you to meet it with self-compassion. Okay, you don't need to figure everything out right now. We're just starting off with the awareness piece. So just take time today, especially today and tomorrow, and just ask yourself, what patterns have I been playing in that I'm not available for anymore? What frequency have I been dialed into? So stressed around money is a big one for a lot of women. This state of panic all the time. Doesn't matter how much money you make. You could be a business owner. You could be a doctor. I got lots of those in my community. Doctor, you could be a therapist, a coach, a business owner, be in finance and real estate. But you are so practiced in being in this energy of panic. It could be around men or it could be around money, because they're the same patterns, right? It's that masculine energy, that relationship with masculine energy. So ask yourself, what pattern does that look like for you? Maybe it's around your body. You have a pattern of you're able to lose the weight, but then you start emotionally eating, right? Or drinking. And then what happens? Then it just comes back. I joined the community just a few weeks ago, and I'm already seeing amazing results. That's amazing, Indigo Wisdom. Thank you for sharing that. Yes, you're going to see amazing results right away, because the first thing that we talk about is that self-awareness piece. And so, okay, so that's the first step. So you're going to take time and you're going to look at your patterns, and then you're going to say, okay, here's the frequency I've been playing in. So I'll use myself as an example. Okay, this is Tosh. Tasha's examples, over the last few years, I used to play, especially as a single mom, I played in the pattern of panic, stress around money, didn't matter how much money I was making, stressed around money. I played in patterns of hiding energy, right? Not, I wanted to get married, but not fully showing up to get married. Avoidance was probably one of the biggest pattern I played in, which is a lot of entrepreneurs, by the way, women, a lot of entrepreneur women are avoidant. So where you can shut off your emotion and just stay really busy, really productive, doing things, but you're doing things that are not in alignment with your new identity and your goals. So you're busy. Here's the biggest one I see with my ladies. Oh, the kids need this, the kids need that. You're a busy mom. So that's why you can't work on your business, or that's why you can't start dating again. That was me. I was so busy surviving my life as a single mom. The thought of dating, like actually intentionally dating for marriage, sounded exhausting for me, especially if you were like me, where, I was married before. So this whole world around dating apps and online dating, I was like, oh, I do not want to do that. Right. So I was really playing in that avoidant pattern for so long until I finally realized, I'm like, hey, Tosh, this is not just about you. This is about your kids. I wanted a dad, a really good masculine energy role model dad for my kids. So going into my 5th year being single, I was like, okay, Natasha, I need to take this stuff seriously now. And then so, I healed that. I did a lot of nervous system work, and then I was able to call in my amazing husband. I obviously had to learn how to go online, attracted him. We were in different countries. You ladies know the story. This is a big thing that I teach our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, is how to call in their desires, but then how do you re-regulate so you actually receive them, so you don't play in those patterns of avoidance anymore. Right? Or for a lot of women that we coach, in the Feminine Energy Academy, they play in the patterns of situationships. So you're with this guy and you guys are together, but not really, right? And you don't really know where things are going, and he's kind of dragging his feet, and you really like him, you're really attached to him, but he's not really showing up like a husband would show up, or like a man that's about to ask you to get married, right? And so once again, if this is a one-off, okay, you can break it off, if you can play in a different frequency. But if this is a pattern for you, then I invite you to take time and acknowledge that, hey, wait a minute, this is a pattern I've been playing in. This is what Coach Tosh is talking about, the frequency I'm dialed into. Because what I talk about on this channel so much is you can't be dialed into the frequency of situationship and the frequency of spoiled wife at the same time. You gotta pick. You're either dialed into the man that breadcrumbs you and shows up inconsistently and is not in his provider energy, or you're dialed into being a wife that has received her husband that is in his provider, healthy, masculine energy, who wants to provide and protect you. You have to pick. You cannot be on 2 channels at the same time. It's not possible, right? So you got to make that decision, ladies. You're either dialed into the frequency of abundance and overflow and rest, and I get to create my business or be in my dream job, or, do life and have multiple income streams from this frequency of feminine ease, or I'm dialed into the frequency of hustle and grind, and I got to work 2 jobs and 3 jobs, or I got to work long hours. I got to do shifts I don't enjoy doing. I got to do work I don't enjoy doing. Or maybe you have a business and you have clients, but you feel like you're an employee to your business. I know what that feels like. And it's exhausting. You can't grow and expand from a place of feminine ease because you're dialed into a different frequency. See the patterns, ladies? The frequency of emotional eating, frequency of feeling like you just don't have the time to take care of your body, or your hormones are a mess. You're perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, and your energy levels have tanked. Girl, I understand that. That's happened to me this year, and I did a bunch of things to fix that, and now I'm like feeling like amazing. I'm so happy. I'm perimenopause 2 days before my cycle starts, and I'm feeling amazing because of the stuff that I've been doing. We're aging backwards. The ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy age backwards, literally. I teach them how to hack their hormones and their nervous system and their cells so that they can look and feel younger. Okay? So, first step, what frequency have you been playing in? Now, the second step, what am I no longer available for? You have to energetically decide, what am I no longer available for? With men, with relationships, with money, my business, my work. Maybe it's with family members. Maybe it's with friends. Maybe it's just, how you're living your life. It could be with your body, not taking care of yourself, not feeling good. What are you no longer available for? You have to declare that. You have to affirm that. You have to, this is why I want you to actually write that down. That no, I am no longer available for men breadcrumbing me. I'm no longer available for men that show up inconsistently. I'm no longer available for the bad boys that I'm just super physically attracted to, but they're just not showing up in their healthy, healed masculinity. For a lot of women, you haven't even taken the time to make this decision. That's why you're still dialed into that old frequency. You're still dialed into, but I find this guy attractive, so I'm going to date him, or he's hot, so I'm going to date him, or he's hot, or he's attractive, or he's giving me attention. So those are the guys you're giving attention to, versus actually taking the time and cutting off those situationships, cutting off those guys that are wasting your time, deciding energetically who you want to call in, which I teach you how to do in the FEA. It's a process. And then becoming that reciprocal match for the thing that you're calling in. Most women don't do that. This is why the ladies in my programs in Feminine Energy Academy get results. They don't quit. They kept going. Despite the highs and the lows, they kept going. They kept learning. They kept recalibrating. They might have made some quote unquote mistakes with the guys, but that's okay. They learned. They didn't beat themselves up, but they got the healing that they needed. They recalibrated their nervous system and their energy frequency to the things that they were calling in. And next thing you know, they're attracting the man that they want, right? Okay, and then number 3 thing you absolutely need for this new year, that's going to be the game changer for you ladies. So you can be the most magnetic feminine woman ever, the most hottest magnetic feminine version of you ever that men are completely obsessed with. And not just men, but everybody's obsessed. Money's obsessed with you. Opportunities are obsessed with you. Clients are obsessed with you. New job opportunities are obsessed with you. All of that is you need to skill up. And I always talk about that on this channel, but I'm going to keep saying it for you because for a lot of women, and I know this because I've coached over 5,000 women in the last couple of years, it's a skill gap. You know a lot of the stuff that I'm teaching you, like on this YouTube channel, or you watch other people, you listen to other podcasts, you probably paid for programs. And for most women, it's one of 2 things. It's one, their nervous system isn't calibrated to the desire that they're calling in, so they constantly self-sabotage and keep it away, or there's a skill gap there. And for relationships, a lot of times for women, what I've realized is there's a skill gap there with how you communicate with men. It could be your husband. I coach a lot of married ladies too, by the way. It could be the guy you're dating. It could just be guys you're on dates with. But a lot of women have not taken time to actually understand the masculine, what the masculine needs, what the feminine needs, how you actually keep attraction and polarity in dating and in marriage. And this is you because you'll see the results in your life. If you're not currently married to your dream husband, which is what you want, I'm not saying this is for everybody, but if that's something that you desire, then it could be a skill gap there. It could be, yes, it could be something that you need to heal. With a lot of women, that's the case. Or it could just be a skill gap. I was watching, what's that show called? Selling Sunset. I love watching that show. I just love the real estate. I love seeing all the glitz and glamour. It's so beautiful. But anyway, so one of the ladies who's married, I don't know if she's married or she's in a situationship. It's hard. I feel like everyone on that show is divorced or in a situationship. But one of the ladies, I think her name is Mary. She's in her 40s. And she was talking to the guy she lives with. It might be her husband, I'm not sure. And, she's talking to him, and I'm just like, I could not believe how she was talking to him. Just saying things like, don't tell me how to do my job. And then she was talking like, you get on my nerves. And I could not imagine talking to my husband like that. And I realized, I'm like, wow, there's so many women out here that are so gorgeous. You're so beautiful. We see this all the time with celebrities. They're so beautiful. They're so wealthy. And they're so clueless when it comes to having a relationship. So clueless. They have no idea how to communicate with the masculine, a healthy masculine man. They have no idea how to actually have a relationship with the masculine in the dating phase or in the marriage phase. No idea. So for you, it's like, okay, going back to taking inventory. Is this an area that I can grow in? Is there room to grow in this area of my life? What's the most important thing for me for 2026? You don't have to figure out everything at all. You don't have to know all the answers. Things don't have to be perfect. But as long as you're going in that right direction, this is why our ladies get such great success in our Feminine Energy Academy, is because they're constantly skilling up. They're learning how to communicate. They're learning how to keep polarity in the dating phase and in the dating phase and in the marriage phase, right? So ask yourself that. Don't judge yourself, but just ask yourself. Now, let's talk about your body. Right? Your body. So maybe you have some hormone issues. Maybe you have high cortisol. Maybe you got that stubborn belly fat. Maybe you're just starting to feel like you look older than you want to look. Maybe you don't have the energy. You have the brain fog. You have the hot flashes. You don't have to stay in that place. You actually can reverse that. These are things that I reverse all the time with the ladies in my programs. So PCOS, perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, weight, emotional eating, adrenal fatigue, cortisol face, cortisol belly, things like that. These are simple things to reverse. You don't have to stay living that way. But for a lot of people, it's just a skill gap. They haven't been taught how to eat and take things for their hormones. And that's going to be your starting point. With everything that I do in the Feminine Energy Academy, my programs with our women, the starting point is helping you feel good in your body again. So your hormones are feeling good. Your nervous system is feeling good. You're not anxious and stressed and overthinking. Because when you're in that energy of overstressed, overthinking, triggered about absolutely everything, hear me when I say this, ladies, it is so repelling to the masculine. Not only just to the masculine, it is so repelling to everybody. You got to ask yourself, there's some women I know because I coach them who have no self-awareness around this, and they're triggered about everything. Everything triggers them. Everything makes them anxious. Everything they need to critique, it's not good enough. Everybody will run from you. I don't care how beautiful you are, how smart you are, how successful you are. I don't care if you got a PhD. My Feminine Energy Academy is full of women with PhDs. That stuff does not matter. My husband talks about this all the time. Men don't care about your PhD. Yes, they'll appreciate it, like, oh yeah, that's great. But that's not what's going to keep polarity in a relationship, right? You could be gorgeous 10 out of 10. But if you are still hyper triggered, you are still anxious, you are still stressed, you are still just a miserable person, right? Need to critiquing things all the time. You get triggered by what people say all the time. That's a pattern you play in. Everyone is going to be repelled by you. No one's going to want to be in your energy, especially the masculine. Okay? So don't judge yourself, but just really ask yourself, are these the patterns I've been playing in? And is this the pattern that you want to be playing in 2026? Because nothing is going to change, girl. You can do a vision board. You can say your prayers. You can work harder. You can write out your goals. But you produce who you are. You're just going to keep manifesting more of who you are. We don't get what we want. We get what we're embodied in. Just like a fruit. Just think of a fruit tree. I was telling my girls yesterday in our coaching call, a mango tree can only produce mangoes, right? So for you, whatever you're dialed into right now, whether you want to be or not, At a head knowledge, you might want something totally different, but the energy you're embodied in will show you the fruit. You can just look at the fruit that you have in your life. Fruit means results. So look at your relationships, look at your bank accounts, look at your body. That's fruit in your life. If you don't like the fruit that's being produced, the only thing that has to change that actually matters is the actual tree, is the actual wineskin, as scripture talks about. You can't put new wine in old wineskin. It doesn't matter if you do your vision boards and your goals and all that stuff. You can get programs and all this stuff, but if you're not doing the inner work and changing your nervous system, reprogramming your nervous system at a subconscious level, it's called neuroplasticity, something I specialize in the Feminine Energy Academy, you're gonna keep producing the same results. Okay? So take a look at your life, but you know what? I'm here to remind you that 2026 can be the best year ever for you. You can truly be in your healthiest, wealthiest timeline ever, ever. Wow, Mia, you are suddenly beautiful, so mesmerized by your beauty, extraordinary. Thank you. Appreciate that. So, ladies, ask yourself, or whoever's watching right now, ask yourself, what does 2026 look like for me? What's showing up different? The 3 questions. What are the patterns? What are the frequencies I've been dialed into that I don't want to be dialed into anymore? Number 2, energetically deciding what you're no longer available for at all. And then number 3, how am I going to skill up to become the reciprocal match for my goals and my desires? Who am I learning from? What am I doing differently this year that's completely different than last year? And what am I going to do? This is a really important one for all of you ladies. What are you going to do different as we enter January, and it's a few months into a few weeks into January, and you're starting to lose motivation, you're starting to lose focus, or it's been a few months in 2026 and now you're seeing yourself go back into those old patterns? What's your game plan to help you recalibrate and re-regulate so you get back on track and you stay on track versus falling off and playing in the same patterns again? For a lot of people, they need accountability, they need support. This is why we do what we do in the Feminine Energy Academy. This is why our women get such amazing results, because you have the skills. Thank you so much for the gifts. You get the skills, you get the support. I have tons, like literally hours of nervous system re-regulating audios, nervous system reprogramming audios, frequency recalibrating audios in there for you to listen to daily. This is, so, when you are, especially for my single moms, or you're busy working and you're just tired and you're frustrated, you can listen to the audio activations, and it helps recalibrate your energy for the day. That's why one of the ladies, she just posted on here, she's like, I just joined the Feminine Energy Academy a couple weeks ago, and it's already made a massive difference in my life. That's what it does. This is why we give you ladies a free 7-day trial. A free 7-day trial, because we're so confident in our results that I can guarantee you, if you jump in there right now and it's for free, you spend 24 hours in there, you're going to start to feel different. And feeling different is a sign that your frequency is changing. Okay? So, anyway, just make the decision. Decide the new patterns that you want to play in. Decide you get to have it. If you don't feel like you get to have it, you got to ask yourself, why do I feel like I don't get to have this? Is it because I'm a single mom? Is it because I'm divorced? Is it because I'm still in love with this guy? He's a situationship, but I really love him. Is it because you feel like you're a certain age now? This is why we have so many women in our community. I mean, we coach women in their 20s all the way up into their 70s, and they're rotationally dating. They're getting the healing that they need. They're getting the tools to re-regulate their nervous system that they need. And, they've allowed themselves to believe for more. They know that they're not too old. It's not too late. Right? But you have to decide that for yourself. So for me, when I was a single mom, one of the patterns that I had to break was just that thought of, okay, who's going to want to date and marry a single mom with 4 kids? So I had to shift that into, no, whoever gets to marry me is going to be blessed. And there's a man walking around right now. This is what I told myself a couple years ago, okay? There's a man walking around right now. He's probably in his mid 40s, and he is wishing that he had a family. And then we're gonna pop on the scene, and he's gonna have an instant family. He's gonna go from being a bachelor to being a family of 6, and it's gonna be an answer to his prayers. And guess what happened, ladies? That's exactly what happened with Coach B. He was formally engaged, broke off the engagement. This was years ago. He did a lot of healing, and then he came into the scene. He was in his mid 40s, and it was perfect. So that's for you too. Another excuse or pattern that a lot of women play in is there's no good men where I live. There's no good men where I live. So I understand that pattern because I come from a small town in Canada. But I was like, I can't use that as an excuse, so I'm going to expand my horizons with dating. And then I met my husband who was in a different country. And this is why we teach our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy how to date internationally. A lot of our women who end up getting engaged and married met their husbands internationally. We teach you how to do that. Not saying that's for everybody, but for a lot of people. This is why we've had engagements and marriages with women that were in the Caribbean, that were in Africa and Europe, not just US and Canada. Oh, hey Tisa, what's up, girl? Yes. So she's like, I just got off the coaching call with Coach B. So we did something special for our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. Yesterday, I did a 3-hour coaching call with the ladies. It was so good. It was so potent, helping them recalibrate their energy around money and finances, around their business, around dating, around marriage, around their body, all of that stuff. So you guys got to go and watch that. It's in the Feminine Energy Academy. And then Coach B today just did a coaching call. I think he just finished it with the ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. And that's what's different. YouTube is great because we'll help you with awareness, but I don't coach you on here. I can't coach you on here. I can give you some questions to ask yourself, but when it comes to recalibrating your energy, nervous system re-regulating, identifying your blocks, that's probably one of my biggest superpowers, is I can have a conversation with you during our coaching sessions in the Feminine Energy Academy, and I can identify your blocks and your patterns, your subconscious blocks and patterns right away, because I've just been coaching so many women for so long. And then, of course, Coach B is on there, and he's giving the man perspective about everything. So that's always helpful for the ladies. They love hearing how men actually think. And yeah, then you get our feedback. This is the women that ended up getting engaged and married in 2025. Once again, it was over 12 of them. Every single woman, right before she got engaged, needed some sort of coaching with us. It was very much a thing where it was like, okay, he's doing this or he said this. How do I respond? And they just needed that extra feedback and coaching. And then the next thing I knew, they were engaged. And they were smart enough to do that because a lot of women, you know what a lot of women do? They're going through stuff with a guy. They get no outside feedback. They just default to their old trigger patterns, talk to him however they feel like they need to talk to him because that's all they've seen. That's all they've seen their family do, and that's what they see on TV. So that's how they talk to their men. And then they wonder why the guy is not giving you princess treatment, why that guy's energy is not coming towards you, why he's pulled away, why he's not showing up consistently for you. That's why, girl. I actually just added in the FEA a whole marriage playlist for our ladies. And on there it has my best, most potent trainings on how to keep polarity and attraction in a marriage. It's so good. So you guys can have access to that as well. But anyway, I'm going to log off here. I'm headed to the Medi Spa. My husband's taking me right now. But I wanted to pop on and just tell you I love you. I wish you all the best in the new year. If you want help for this new year to stay on track, be in a total different energetic frequency, you're ready to call in your provider husband who's obsessed with you and gives you spoiled princess treatment and be in that spoiled wife energy. You want to recalibrate your energy around money and finances. You're tired of feeling stressed and anxious around finances, around your business. You want to really work on your body this year. You want to lose that weight. You want to release that weight with ease, with feminine ease. You want to reverse PCOS and perimenopause and menopause, hormone issues. Then try out the Feminine Energy Academy. Ladies, you are your highest return on investment, and I guaranteed it's going to shift your reality as soon as you jump in there. Okay? The link is not there right now. You have to go into my bio, and then the link will be there for you. And then I'll post it under this replay as well. Okay, anyway, I love you, ladies, and have an amazing day, and Happy New Year's.